offend anyone, but any good poem, I think, should knock the wind out of you a little bit. I think, as people in general, we are entirely too comfortable with just accepting what's fed to us without questioning. So, I wrote this with the intention of creating questions. Cool?
Where is that?
Woo. 64 questions for God. Hey God, what's up? Do you have a minute? Mind if I ask you a few questions? How about we start at the beginning? Okay. How exactly did you create day and night on the first day, but the sun, moon, and stars on day 4? Since Adam and Eve didn't know right from wrong until eating from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, why did you then punish them for something they didn't yet understand? And if you know all, then you knew they would be tempted. So why allow Satan so close to your innocent creations and just look on while he led Eve into temptation? Why don't you heal amputees? If you make us all and made some of us gay, then why send gays to hell for being how you made them? And if we're all made in your image, doesn't that make you a little gay? When two teams pray to win the championship, how do you pick which team's prayer to answer? Do you flip a coin? Why is the Heimlich maneuver more effective on a choking victim than prayer is? Why did you give us medicine if prayer heals all illness? If you know our fate, why even bother with prayer? It's like praying for a book you already read to have a different ending. Why did you create venomous creatures? Which was your favorite dinosaur? Did you kill them off because they didn't believe in you? Why don't you mention them in the Bible? And while we're on the subject, if the Bible truly is your word and you are perfect, then why are there so many contradictions in it? Why would you write an instruction manual and then make it open to interpretation? If it's so important for us to get your message, why make your message so difficult to understand? Didn't you proofread the Bible? Or was it the Quran? In 1 Samuel chapter 15, verse 11, you said that you regret making Saul king. Doesn't that mean that you do in fact make mistakes then and are not perfect? And if you know all, how didn't you know that you would eventually regret making Saul king in the first place? How did taking your name in vain and worshiping false idols make it to your top 10 list of things not to do, but slavery and rape somehow managed to slip your mind? Why couldn't you forgive us for our sins without sacrificing your son? And if you resurrected him 3 days later, how is that really a sacrifice? How many donkeys did Jesus ride into Jerusalem? Was it 1, like Mark, Luke, and John say? Or was it 2, like Matthew said? Was Jesus crucified on the first day of Passover, like the Gospel of John says? Or on the second day, like the other 3 Gospels say? I'm only asking because both contradictory versions happen to be in your perfect book. In Deuteronomy chapter 23, verse 2, you say, no one of illegitimate birth shall enter the assembly of the Lord. None of his descendants, even to the 10th generation, shall enter the assembly of the Lord if they be of illegitimate birth. So why didn't that rule apply to Jesus? The duck-billed platypus. Seriously, what's your beef with third world countries? Why don't they get enough water? Do you have a hard time hearing their prayers over the sound of growling bellies? How do you decide which children to starve and not starve? Do you flip? Why do you need us to worship? Why do you demand we idolize you? Why do you need us to believe in you? Are you really that insecure? Why do you punish those who don't? Hitler believed in you. Is he in heaven? Did you send Gandhi to hell? Speaking of hell, how can you offer unconditional love and threaten eternal damnation all in one breath? How was drowning damn near every living creature on the planet an act of love? Why do you place conditions on your unconditional love? How can I enjoy heaven if someone I love is burning in hell? If you know what's in our hearts, then why ask Abraham to kill his only son to prove that he loved him? Why gamble with Satan over the life of Job just to prove a point? Sure, you gave him new livestock, a new wife, and new kids, but was that supposed to make him forget about the family he lost in your little wager with the devil? Why create the devil? Like, time out. Like, seriously, the fuck? Like, if everything bad came from that, why did he create the devil? Do you need him? Is he the Joker to your Batman or the Hyde to your Jekyll? Why have you allowed so many to literally get away with murder? Why have you let so many pay for crimes they did not commit? Why do you give some babies birth defects? When creating natural disasters, how do you decide which land masses and people to obliterate? Do you flip a coin? Why have you allowed hurt, allowed thirst, allowed famine, disease, poverty, pollution, rape, murder, slavery, sex trafficking, child abuse, senseless death, violence, wars in your name? Why have you allowed so much suffering for so long? Why? When I was little, my sister and I fought constantly. My mother separated us to keep us from hurting ourselves. We're down here killing one another. What are you waiting for? Haven't you heard us? We've been praying for you to do something for a very, very long